there is music in the air. Since the earliest area churches were built, we have had music in our midst. We are serenaded with public music daily. It's so expected that we often take it for granted. Dayton's most famous public music comes from the carillon bells.
A carillon is a set of bells. You have to have at least 23 bells that are tuned to cover 2 octaves. So not just every bell tower you're driving along is considered a carillon. And the idea of forming bells together in that manner dates back to medieval times. Deeds Carillon is one of Dayton, Ohio's best-known landmarks, and it was constructed between 1940 and 1942. It was the gift of Colonel Edward A. Deeds and his wife Edith Walton Deeds to the Dayton community, and it's actually a working musical instrument. It was really Edith Deeds' idea to have a carillon tower constructed in the manner of towers that she had seen in Europe. And since Mrs. Deeds herself was an accomplished musician, a piano player, and an organist, she thought it would be a great idea to bring to Dayton this idea of live music alongside of a river, live bell music. So the 57 bells that comprise Deeds Carillon combined weigh over 20 tons. The largest bell is nearly 5 feet tall, and it's over 5 feet in diameter, and it weighs over 6,700 pounds. And then the smallest bell in the carillon weighs just 24 pounds and is only 7 inches tall. What was unique with Deeds Carillon was that Mrs. Deeds wanted a freestanding tower and to have her carillon of bells hanging in a freestanding tower. And at the time that it was built, it was one of just 6 freestanding carillon towers in all of North America. Her design also consisted of having all of the bells exposed for view from below. She thought that it would provide a better tonal quality of the bells, and it would be a more impressive view to actually see the bells hanging in the tower. So when the tower was completed in 1942, it was the first carillon tower anywhere that had all of its bells exposed for view from down below. Mrs. Deeds had in her mind a vision of something that would really be a worthy testament to the people of Dayton. And I believe most people would agree that Deeds Carillon is that really a beautiful landmark, and it is a great working musical instrument.
Churches throughout Montgomery County ring bells as both public music and the public timekeeper.
Originally, I guess it was kind of 2 purposes. One was to ring the bells in somewhat what's called a peal mode, like where if you have multiple bells, you pull the ropes and swing them all. And that was to notify people that a service was about to start. And typically, we still used to do that here with the electric controls 5 minutes before each service on the weekends. Some of the people that work around here, I think, would say they miss them when they don't ring. So it's much like the clock on the steeple. If the clock's off, we hear about it. People look at that clock.
At Wright-Patterson, Revelry and Retreat are broadcast over the base loudspeaker system at 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. respectively. Revelry originates from the French word to wake up. Retreat was first used by the French army and dates back to the Crusades. Retreat is followed by the national anthem. Take a moment to enjoy the sounds of music, the music of Montgomery County.